What is something you enjoyed as a kid, but hate as an adult? Receiving a letter. Now it's just bills/taxes/trash. Receiving mail as a child was exciting. On the contrary, today I spent an hour going through a stack of mail that I'll let pile up and shredding about 98% of it. Actually, I now look forward to getting my mail again. The secret is having it delivered by our 3-5-year-old granddaughter. She loves delivering mail. Mostly it's stuff like Costco flyers, but she literally skips down the path to my office with the mail held high. She peeks through the door and says, "Mail," and then giggles. Unfortunately, I may have to report her to the USPS Inspector General because sometimes she delivers it to our cat Daisy, who mostly just sleeps on the chair on my office deck. Write a letter and address it to Daisy and then put it in your mailbox. I bet you she'll go nuts. I'm gonna do it. Maybe throw some catnip in there for extra kitty purrs. Thanks for the idea. Having no job. I still like having no job. What I don't like is having no money. At the end of the day all I want to do is sleep, eat, maybe read a nice book. I have never wanted to be super rich or successful or anything. I don't even want kids. Are you me? This is what I want. There are dozens of us. Dozens. Spinning in a circle until I'm so dizzy I fall down. Super fun as a child. Great way to feel terrible and possibly get a concussion now. Plus swing sets. For me, I was swinging yesterday at the park with my kids, tried to slow the swing down, and ended up spraining my ankle resulting in a doctor's visits and x-rays lol. Jumping down 3 to 4 steps at a time. My knees won't put up with that nonsense now. Holy shit. I used to jump entire flights of stairs for shits and giggles in high school. Do it again. Recapture old glory. More like rupture old glory. Is that what you call yours? Old glory? I just call mine Brad. Going to the mall. I used to like browsing stores, but now I just want to get what I need and go. Part of it is the mall's fault for me. When I was younger the mall was a bit more varied. You had your toy store, your game store, your arcade, Sharper Image, Discovery store, candy store, etc. Now I go to the mall, and it's the food court and endless apparel stores. All the more interesting stores have been pushed out of business. Right. I remember when you had interesting kiosks with diverse random merchandise. Now it is just a couple of custom shirt makers and 20 kiosks selling Chinese knockoff consoles. Used to have stores that were fun to browse and see what new things they came up with like the Science Shop, Discovery Store, even Brookston back when they had cool gadgets. Now it is just food, clothes, GameStop, and Spencer's. Right. I remember when you had interesting kiosks with diverse random merchandise. Now it is just a couple of custom shirt makers and 20 kiosks selling Chinese knockoff consoles. Don't forget the Chinese knockoff phone cases, the Chinese knockoff headsets and smartwatches, and such. I miss things like the Discovery Store, the Nature Store, KB Toys. I'm not old. I'm not old. The random independent PC gaming store we had at ours. Fuck. I'm old. Barnes and Noble and Borders. We had both in one mall, and such. Borders was great. I'd walk in, and the store is bustling with people. The smell of freshly ground coffee hung in the air. The allure of finding a cool book to read. Or maybe even just a big book with endless beautiful pictures to look at. Fuck. Buying books on Amazon feels like exactly none of that. Getting older. I'm getting too old for this shit. Diplomatic immunity. It's just been revoked. Neck crick crack focus POW. Being outside when it's cold. When I was little, I could play outside in the snow for hours and not even be the faintest bit of cold. Now I can't even stand being outside during winter for a few minutes. Young children have a high percent of brown fat which burns hyper quickly, allowing the body to warm itself extremely efficiently in response to cold. More similar to wild animals. Adults have very little brown fat. Homo sapien adults are geared for low amounts of slow burning yellow fat for sustained energy. This gives babies, who would otherwise be very vulnerable in the winter, a tremendous survival leg up. Can you grow brown fat? I'm sick of my stupid slow burning yellow fat. I'm Puerto Rican and chubby. I grow brown fat all the time. Genuinely lolled. Staying up all night. As a kid, it was a badge of honor staying up all night long. Going to bed after the sunrise now means that I've worked too much. Sleeping really late as well. As an adult, sleeping late makes me feel like I've wasted a whole day off. Good old times, where you slept from 6 PM to 7 AM. Being in bed at 7 PM as a kid, sunlight still shining through the curtains, and reading a book till 9 or 10 PM. Now I've lost all the time for books and I've certainly no desire to be in bed at 7. I remember going to bed at 8:30 every night when I was probably 10ish and reading my Harry Potter books until I was tired. Eventually I got an iPad and watched Minecraft Let's Plays until I was tired. Now I'm a college student and I miss that simplicity, but there's good things ahead of me too. Certain 80s sitcoms. Tried watching the original Full House again and just couldn't get past 10 minutes of it. Cheers still works for me. It's my go-to to fall asleep at night. Love it also. The humor is just as funny as today's. Carla kills it. Woody was great, but Coach was fantastic. My birthday. It's not that I hate it. It's just that I don't care about it anymore. Same with holidays. Lunchables. I always told my parents to get me some after seeing the commercials. Looking at it now, who TF actually thinks this is a decent lunch? It's an overpriced box of cheese and crackers and a Capri Sun. My dad once came home with a brick of cheese, a container of deli ham, and a box of Ritz, and told me I could make my own damn Lunchables. Homemade Lunchables are best Lunchables. Yeah, we call it charcuterie. Talking about politics. It used to make me feel smart and grown up. Now I just get angry and exhausted. Fuck yes. It is almost always a shitfest, and you just can't make a sensible conclusion. There is a reason that people are not in one political boat after all. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. If I say I'm pro Second Amendment, they wanna box me in with the Republicans. I'm not a Republican. If I say I'm pro universal healthcare, they wanna box me in with the progressives. I'm not a progressive. I like what I like. There's no party for me in America. I think if someone buys hook, line and sinker into one political party, and everything they do and say, they are complete idiots and not even trying to think rationally about any of the issues. What annoys me the most are people who categorize in broad strokes e.g. all Democrats are stupid SJWs or all Republicans are backwards rednecks. Those are the least likely to listen to reason. All people who categorize in broad strokes are assholes. Moving house. I loved packing, choosing a new room, exploring a new neighborhood. I'd moved 20 times by the time I turned 18. I'm moving out of my first flat now, and it is the worst. Mum never warned me about the billion calls and contracts and credit scores and references and moving companies and just the general stress of moving out. I hate it. It's the worst. 20 times. Why? Mum had to move a lot because of her job. Mix that in with the fact she gets antsy and wants to move every 6 months and the number just kept going up. I've stayed in my current flat for 2 years and that's the longest I've ever stayed in one place. Wow man. I've only moved 3 times in 36 years. Moving is hell to me. And so expensive. Yeah. Kid me liked it, but adult me definitely agrees it is shite. Especially in the middle of lockdown. Vienna sausages. My brother and I used to wrestle and fight over who would get the last can. Hadn't had them in ages and was telling my kid about them. So I thought I'd get a can for old time's sake. Could not even choke them down. They are so gross to me now. Are you me? I used to love them. Boasted them to my kid and bought a can. Oh. Even my son didn't like them and he'll eat anything. Gave them to my dog and no lie, she threw them up. Lol, I feel like sadness. I touched a core happy memory and fucked it up. Right? I was like, oh, I can pass on a happy memory to my kid and he just remembers it as the day I attempted to deploy a food weapon at him by having him try one. Maybe they changed the recipe. I really won't be surprised. I just spent about all the time I'm going to researching it by googling Vienna sausage changed recipe. Nothing really came up other than recipes for them. I'm afraid to google anything that isn't essential because last week a body armor bulletproof vest had popped up for me and I thought WTF is this? I clicked it, and now literally every single ad I get is 8-minute long videos reviewing body armor. I'm aware I can go to incognito mode, but I'm not that tech smart and it never occurs to me to do that until way later. I have a husky and spend hours walking every night and have no problem wasting time on my phone doing pointless shit. I may email them and ask if they change their recipe and link them here. Nothing better to do. I remember liking those two and now every time there's a bowl of them at a work party, nobody touches them and they look fucking gross. Thinking about the future. When I was a kid I imagined in the future I'd be rich and do crazy science stuff like turning the sky green. I thought I'd have a cool job and sports cars and a mansion in Beverly Hills. Thanks Weezer. Now when I think about the future, I wonder what the hell to do if I lose my job, about my parents getting old, and to a lesser degree, will I have enough saved to live off in retirement? There's a quote by Marina Keegan that just breaks my heart. He missed dreaming forwards. Anna said, "What? I dream backwards now? You won't believe how backwards you'll dream someday." Never understood what she meant when I was a kid. Now that I understand, I wish I didn't. Sometime during college I stopped making new friends. Now all of my friends are the ones from high school I can reminisce with. Hang on to them tight my dude. My two best friends by far had something go down between them. Now they haven't seen each other in years. Hurts man. Most of the movies I liked when I was a kid don't hold up as an adult. I've stopped revisiting them so I don't spoil the good memories. Blank Check just made me angry as an adult. That kid was an entitled prick. Also, that mansion costing $300,000 is depressing now. That was never realistic. How did you spend $1 million in a week? Even as a kid I thought that was dumb question. Still loved it though. Ravioli in a can. Don't get me wrong. I love ravioli, just not canned. Frozen isn't too hard to make, it's much better. My grocery store sells fresh made ravioli and tortellini, and I spend way too much money on them. Christmas. As a kid it was time off school, presents, and seeing my family. As an adult I'm lucky if I get both days off. I stress about finding the right gift for everyone, and I have to see my family. My family will draw names after Thanksgiving dinner, so you only have to buy a gift for one person. This is what we do. It's made things exceptionally easier. We do this too. It's changed Christmas gift buying from an expensive chore to something fun for everyone. Roller coasters. While I never liked the big ones, I like the small ones okay, but being almost 40 and riding them makes me feel like I might die afterwards. Around age 30, they suddenly made me nauseous. I enjoy them, but feeling pukey for the rest of the day isn't worth it. I can relate though it happened to me a little earlier, in my mid-20s. Last time I went to an amusement park I took some Dramamine in the parking lot to see if it helped. It did help a fair bit though I still had to take breaks between coasters. Dude, after taking Dramamine I went on the Star Tours ride at Disneyland and almost cried at how I actually enjoyed a roller coaster style ride for the first time in my life. Signed, someone with crazy motion sickness. If you are new to Tattletale TV, please subscribe. I have new videos every day. Stay tuned right now for another